Hello and welcome. Here we have a Dana 44 front axle. It's from old Dodge and I'm trying to fit it under my Jeep. I'm also going to make it a bit stronger. I need to remove the old mounts. I also need to flip the pumpkin and shorten the axle a little bit. I made this jig for the axle and I'm going to also weld it to this long steel beam so that it's more stable. I need to flip the pumpkin around, so I think I cut it from here and here, and then I just flip it around here. But before that I think I need to weld these tubes to the jig. I think it's straight enough. Next I'm going to cut it, and for that I'm going to use this. That might be too slow. Was not strong enough, so I took another old and dirty, but I think it gets the job done. This one eats steel like a butter. This is quite thick, so I think I need to grind it a bit from here so that I can weld it all the way back. Next I have to modify my jig so that I can flip this around like 180 degrees. So I need to cut this from here so that it can rotate, and I need to build some structure over here that it stays in place. So now it needs to be cut from here and here. Next I need to set caster to pinion relationship, and it can be done by turning this, because this jig allows full rotation of the pumpkin, and I can measure the caster from here and the pinion angle from this surface. I have now measured this surface to be about 14 degrees in relation to the ground, and caster is about 5 degrees, so I have 9 degrees between the caster and pinion. Then I'm going to just quickly tack weld it from here and here. It seems to be straight still, and the angles were correct. But now I need to remove all the tags that I made to connect this axle to the jig. And after that I need to build another jig to change the length of this axle. I need to cut about 5 centimeters from here and from here. I will also disassemble this old jig and reuse the parts for future projects. Next I need a second jig to make this shorter. So I'm gonna use this RHS steel and these angle irons, and these can slide on this pretty smoothly. So I think I'm gonna weld this axle or tack weld it to these from both ends, and then I'm gonna clamp these to the bar. I put these bolts here in the ball joint holes so that I don't need to weld that much to the axle. Then I'm going to weld this to this angle iron and add something also here. I decided to connect the axle just with the bolts, so I don't need to grind the welds off. So next I'm going to weld this kind of thing here. The axle tube has some holes, so I need to weld those also. Five centimeters from here. tubes are cut now, and I can move these. And next I'm going to add sleeves. There's some bolts here that I can enter those because they have a bit different internal diameter than this tube. Now the sleeve is on and I'm going to tag it in place. Next I'm going to weld the plug weld holes. I have marked the holes here. Seems like I destroyed a drill bit. Holes are there now, so it's time to weld. Now the sleeve is pretty well in place. I have the sleeves welded in place, and next I need to weld these here so that the sleeves connect to the pumpkin and the knuckles or inner C's. The axle is pretty solid already, so I think I can take it out of the jig. Next I'm going to do some cooking. I have 4 OK48 rods here, which are 7018 rods, and I'm going to bake them. I took the axle outside so that I don't need to breathe so much welding fumes. So now I'm going to stick weld here and here and here and here. And I already grind it a bit smoother from here and here. I also preheated this with torch. Here is the same thing as with welding the tubes together, that I cannot just burn all the way around because it will warp the axle. So I need to do short stitches and then rotate and then weld on the other side. And it's also going to take multiple beats. Back in the garage. The sleeves are welded. The welds are not like perfect, but I think those are enough for these sleeves. Then there's the hole for the venting, because there is the cavity inside. I think that I will fill those cavities up with epoxy. So I will pour vacuum inside and then I will let the epoxy in. But before messing with epoxy, I think I should build the truss first. But yeah, the axle is now sleeved and I'm going to call it a day. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for part 2.